Well, good afternoon and welcome to Partickhill Station. I'm Charlie McGowan, and I'd appreciate if you would let me know if you can hear me clearly out there. It's always a challenge, first time up, to see if we've got good audio going on. So it's Saturday afternoon, Toronto time, and it's probably an odd time for the guys in the UK, and for the guys here in North America. For the most part, the sun's out and people might be out in the garden enjoying themselves. I decided do some gardening early and then get inside and try and get something up and running. So things seem to have changed in my system, and I'm not really sure what's going on. Um, I had a problem last time I went live. Wasn't able to resolve it, and I've got some weird things going on here presently. I don't seem able to bring in guest cameras. I'm not really sure why that is. There's a comment coming in. Andrew Dobson, hello Andrew, and how are you today? Yeah, I'm just having the usual issues, Andrew. Things change rapidly, and I'm not sure if it's StreamYard or it's at my end, but you know, I followed the usual procedure and sent out invitations. To no avail. But let's see. Oh, here, he's able to get something going. Looks as if I'll have audio issues with this one. Now the other thing, let me just. The other thing is, oh damn, it's always an issue. Test. Yeah. Yeah, the problem, one of the problems today is the earphones that I have don't seem to be picking up. Sorry, the earphones that I have are not the ones that I need for my iPhone. The receptacle or power line for my iPhone 11 is a bit different. It's the lightning cable, whereas the older iPhones are just that jack plug type thing. So I must give a big shout out to Bernie Walker. Bernie announced that he had reached 1,000 subscribers, which is outstanding. It's very difficult to get to 1,000, and Bernie seems to have cracked it. And congratulations to Bernie for doing that. As I said, I'm not really sure why. Not really sure why he did it. He didn't come up with any explanation. He just said he'd gotten out of the hospital and he had 1,000 subscribers. So, you know, that's excellent. I'm just going to move this camera around here because, you know, I've got issues ongoing with my cameras. I'll try and resolve it on the fly. Well, Clive, good afternoon, or good evening, I should say. I'll just make this into one. Glad you could drop by. It's probably 7:30 over there right now. Let me just see if I can get something else moving here. So, Clive, how's the weather in your neck of the woods? I hope you had a sunny afternoon, as they would say. So you may have seen on some of my recent short videos is I'm trying to do a little bit more how-to tips and trick type things, and I'm working on, you know, telegraph poles, as you can see here. That's one thing I'm doing. I'm also working on my trees, which I think you've seen before, and no point hauling that out. I've also been working on the track, you know, just to make sure that everything is running smoothly, and checking the points to make sure they're properly aligned, and that's been working out. I'm happy to say. There is one area that I'm still trying to figure out, and that is this one here. Now, as you can see, this train's going in that direction, but I think I may have set up these points the wrong way around. The trains still run through there, and you know, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what the problem is. As I said, they still run, so I'll just see if I can. Yeah, see that one, it hangs up there, and that's probably because it's not being guided through that point, and that's obviously going to have to be reversed. see if I can get something else. Yeah, I apologise about the camera. It's just not been resolved yet. Oh, and how did that go, Clive? Was it hot up there? I guess if your loft was is insulated, it'd be pretty warm if it was a nice sunny day. Now, you may have seen my last video where I spoke about Mr. Clean, and this is, as I say, perfect for cleaning the track. It does a great job, and I looked for it on the internet to see its availability in the UK, and you can get it through amazon.co.uk. And for a couple of pounds, I think it was, it'd be a great investment to buy it and try it. You don't have to put any cleaner on it. As I demonstrated, it really picks up the grime, and you can just keep using it until, I guess, it falls apart. But they're cheap enough that you can buy a few of them and just interchange them, and it will make quite a difference to your running. So I think Bernie was in hospital. Well, not too bad, Clive. That's good. Yeah, I think Bernie was. I asked him how did you get, or where were you last week, and I meant in terms of numbers. And Bernie interpreted it. Where was he physically? And he said he was in hospital last week. But he's jumped ahead of everybody, and he's now at 1,000, which means, if he wanted, he could do monetization. Oh, a little bit of a grinding accident there. Not really. Yes. See, this is live. There's always something for me that goes wrong when I'm live. I've got to get this here. Yep. Just have to do the hand of God and get it round here. So, Mark Hemel Down is making good progress with his layout, and that's good because it's always a big job to start from scratch again and try and build it up. But he seems to be making good progress in sharing it with us in whatever updates he's been able to make. And I'm sure he's desperate to get trains running. And of course that will come with time. So how about this 100-ton BOC fuel tanker? You know, I'd been at the Great British Train Show, and I took along a bunch of stuff, including those two Harry Potter sets and an APT set. And of course I told you, people said, no, too expensive, Charlie. I think I was asking 175 for the APT set, and that's dollars, right? So divide it by 1.6 and you'll get the pounds or euros are just about the same. Anyway, I also had that 100-ton tanker, and I think I was asking $40. Now, the other Clive will tell you that in the UK or on eBay, people were asking sort of more like 30 or 40 pounds. So I was thinking maybe I'll put this up on the internet and just for a quick sale put a price on it of $25 or $30 plus shipping. Now, shipping for something like that in its box and wrapping might cost anywhere between $12 and $20. So if I sold it for 25 or 30, add on 20, $55, I think that's a bit of a bargain, as they would say. Mark Hemel down, yes sir. Yeah, you do need them running again. I'm sure, Mark, it's very frustrating. You know, you're working away, trying to get things done, and there never seems any end to it, and you're desperate to get things running. But you just have to hang in there. At least if you get the track down, you know, that's a good start. I got a derailment here. I need to put a stop to that one because I've got a derailment. So as I said, it's you know, you're desperate to get things moving along. Let me just get in here and fix this one. Seems to be a problem coach there. Not really sure why, but as we know, And it's funny, you know, I'm trying to deal with some derailments as we go, and I was thinking back to Donegal dad, Mark McDade, and he had one of his trains stuck inside his tunnel, and of course he had to get something long enough to fish it out. And you know, I was surprised because, you know, Mark's a pretty experienced, seasoned modeler, and I would have thought that he would have had that part of the landscape removable, you know, just in case the event that something does get stuck in that tunnel. But there you go. Anyway, another thing I've been doing is going into my wagons and adding the little weights, and it makes a tremendous amount of difference, because as you know, some of the wagons they're pretty lightweight, and you know, things you have to consider are not only the wheels. You know, if the wheels are plastic with a fixed axle, or you know, yeah, if you've got steel ones, you can modify it, but there's also the axles that have a split in the middle, and they're easily fixed. And then couplings. You know, if you have various manufacturers, which we all do, the couplings don't always match up, and that's a bit of a pain, because you know, if something goes a little bit out of position, then you're kind of screwed, because it's going to lock up and you'll get a derailment. And I find that very frustrating. So, in fact, some of these coaches, like whether it's Lima, Hornby, Triang, Mainline, you know, you end up with slightly different hooks, and you have to check that first, of course, and then you'll find you don't have sufficient number of coaches to run a train, and then you have to go searching for others. New Lynn, how are you? Well, just your ears must have been burning, because I did mention you earlier. I'm not sure if you caught that. What did you find on eBay today? As I told you, I always get a good laugh whenever you go online and you get a new package to open. And for the guys who didn't catch it, I was saying that when I was working, I used to have to go away on projects, and you know, you get per diem, and so I would save most of the per diem and order something on eBay, and then when I'd get home, my wife would always say, "Oh, you've got another package here, ha ha ha." So I was down in Tampa on a project. So because of immigration restrictions and work permits, I could only go down there on the Monday and come back on the Friday. So that's what I did for 3 months. Fly down Monday morning, come back Friday afternoon. And you know, I'd work pretty long hours, you know, getting to the office at 7 and probably stay until 8, and then walk across the parking lot to the hotel. And so I would save up my per diem and use it to buy locos, etc. On eBay. Yeah, you get a parcel every day from the missus. Yeah, that's just about it. But I haven't done that really since I retired. Because I realised I've got all this stock. It's not a huge. It's not a huge layout, and sort of restricted what I can run. Like the Coronation Scott, I've got that and 9 or 10 coaches. Well, if I put that on here, it's going to take up half the layout, and I do every now and again just to get it out and give it a run. Yeah, I guess that's that's something to look forward to, Mark. Here you might have one show in the Toronto area a year, maybe one, possibly two, but of course, model railroads are more popular. And I try to get to whatever comes up, just to have a nose around and see what's there. And so, talking about adding weights, this old Triang, I ended up putting some weights on the inside of that because it was pretty light. It bobbed around and would often derail for no apparent reason, maybe because the wheels. Now, these are the ones I spoke about there, sort of half axle. You can get some adjustment in them, so that's a good thing. I've still got a few things under repair, and it's going to take me a while. Some are worse than others, as you can see. The missing valve gear, but this one runs. I think it runs, but it just needs a bit of tuning. And this one, well, I did have it running, but as you see, it was burning. The light was burning the body there, so I'm not really sure what that was about, and I'll have to continue inspecting it and trying to work out what the issue is. The old Triang engineering department, nice old wagon, I like that, or the coach. It's a little bit in the light side also. And then of course these here, which are the old Airfix or Dapol, whichever one, cement tanks. I bought them from a guy a number of years ago, and he had fabbed up this connection here, so it's kind of strange, but if you imagine that hook there, it gets picked up at that location on the adjacent. Let's see if we can get another one here. So this one here, this would be the lead one, and that would hook up onto your local, and then the next one would hook up there like that. Now, it's not perfect, but but it worked. So that can make, along with these more modern tanks, a nice little cement frame, which brings me to this, the Blue Circle cement building that I fabbed. Now I just drew something up that I thought was of proportionally the right size, and then I used mat board, which is pretty solid. Cut all those parts out, used a tube for the tank at the top, and then I bought the papers and mixed them up between painted and rusted, and it's a bit on the large side. That's just a storage area for it at the moment. I'm not really sure where it'll end up. But I do have a number of things on the go. You get sidetracked with too many things. One being the tenement building, and then I have to finish off these walls. Whether I do it with the concrete walls that I made, or this more traditional stone brick that you would find around central Scotland, or the red brick, and then try and finish that area off and build some kind of a bridge in there. I've just put those girders on for effect. Let's see if there's anything. And then, of course, my end-to-end, which is you've seen before, is running around here back to the station. Now I've got the correct board for it. I just haven't gotten around to fitting it up, and as I said, I get distracted between trying to fix the track and the points. And talking about the points, that runs pretty well through there. It wobbles just a little bit, so I need to look and see what I've got to replace these 2 points here. Maybe a right hand point, or that is a right hand point. A left hand point turned around the other way might work. I'm not really sure about that, because it's basically the same situation there. That's a left hand, and it's set up right so that the guide rails are in the proper orientation, and that's what's wrong in this setup here. I don't know if you can see this, but so that's the chain that I picked up from Michael's App Store, a couple of dollars, and I stained it up a little bit, make it look more realistic, and try to use it as I did here. Most of you have seen this before with the rollers that I got out of an old printer, and then I chained them on, and it looks quite effective. And then this one, an old wagon, as you can see, I picked it up for $1 or something, $2, and then I filled it with bits and pieces and painted it, and it looks like a nice little scrapyard destined wagon. So I cleaned up these DMUs, and I've got them running. See if I can get it out here. Get another derailment. I don't like this curve. Not sure what it is. It might be on the small side. Maybe that's all it is. Just need to get things backed up here. Let's just see here. Yeah, what I like about YouTube is myriad of videos that are out there, and there's so many learning opportunities. And I've always been artistic and able to pick up a pencil, pen, or brush and come up with something. But I certainly like I certainly like watching people do stuff, and then I can pick up ideas that I can try and implement into my own layout here. I'm going to try and get this DMU to come back around. Seems to be working just fine there. You never know. Well, everything's kind of slowed down at the moment. So here's the difference. This one here doesn't have any weight on it, and so this would just be an experiment to see how well it does. Not really sure. Goes around there. That's in there, that's there. Okay. So it got through that point, and you know, for an old thing, it runs pretty well. I'm just going to try and clear that line there. So not bad for an old DMU. Those are the original wheels. They're pretty rough, and I guess you could always replace them. Would help improve the running. But and my track isn't perfect. not by a long shot. But I'm happy to see after a little bit of effort in cleaning and fine tuning it that it's able to run that well. And even at slower speeds, it does pretty good. And as I say, even through a point like that, which I believe is not the right oriented point, it does really well. And I know I've shown you this before, but yeah, I'm really pleased with this. I chopped up an old Airfix Spitfire that I built, covered the cockpit with some tissue paper and painted it, and then I modified this as per John Champs 123. He's the guy that I saw do it. Well, at least I saw him fix these bogies to make them run better. Put in a new bolt and nut, and of course you can change the wheels. There's particular wheels you need to look for, and the ones that he was suggesting at the time were either no longer available or they were extremely expensive if you could find them. But I've got 4 or 5 of them that I modified, and they all run pretty good. So, pretty pleased with that. So, what is everybody up to on a Saturday afternoon? Hey Bernie, how are you? Good of you to drop by. What's happening? As you can see, I'm kind of limited to one camera here, and I'm trying to get them to work. It was kind of short notice. I decided that I was going to broadcast because I thought, yeah, if I don't do it now, I will procrastinate, and it might not get one done until later in next week. So I thought, well, everybody else makes the effort, and I should too. So I jumped in, and yeah, just some problems with cameras not responding and audio being off, the usual. Well, Bernie, that's great news about your pacemaker. I hope you're feeling so much better, and that's outstanding. Technology is a wonderful thing, and it can help us all. That's really great news. Very happy for you. And so, what have they told you, if you don't mind me asking? Have they restricted you or anything? Well, I guess it takes the system a little while to adjust. Just yeah, I have an audio problem here. Yeah, see, this is another problem I had. For whatever reason, the camera goes vertical, and I'm not really sure why that happens. There's something in the system. I need to investigate that further. I don't know what the solution is. Anyway, my wife is away at a friend's cottage, and she was just trying to FaceTime me there, but can't interrupt the flow, as they say. Anyway, so I've got another camera here. I'm trying to get it going. In the settings, I look for rotation of camera. Got this over, I'll put it down for a second. Because the interesting thing is, I was doing some photography, and my daughter, who is a star of social media, said to me, "Dad, the photographs that you're taking and putting onto Instagram don't have the correct orientation." And what she meant by that was, if you go into my Instagram, which is Charlie McGowan 1104, you'll see all my pieces of artwork and train stuff. Now, what I would do is take a photograph, and I would hold my iPhone in the horizontal position just to get the best view, and then I would crop that photograph and load it into Instagram. But she said, no, you don't do that. In Instagram, their system works with the vertical format, and what you need to do is take the photograph in the vertical position and then post it in Instagram, and it'll automatically format the photograph to suit yeah, that's the one I'm on right now. Yeah, see, I'm working on that one right now, but I'm just going to turn it around. Anyway, you see what's happening there. So what she said was, okay, if you're taking photographs generally for YouTube, for YouTube it's horizontal. For Instagram it's vertical. And you don't take a horizontal photograph and then crop it and put it into Instagram. I don't know what difference it makes to the results, but Instagram prefer the vertical format, and they cut it to suit for their display. So that's what I was doing this morning. But are you saying go into settings within StreamYard or settings for the camera? I'm assuming it's settings for the camera. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, and you know, all it says is well, as I was saying, I'm going to try and show you here. Just bear with me. Okay, so although I had the camera set up horizontally, the format is showing vertical when it should be horizontal. So I'm really not sure what I need to do to change that up. Because in StreamYard it doesn't really give you options on what you can do. So for the moment I'm kind of stuck with this setup. The travelling Wilbury. Now the other thing, all the points I've got, they're all manual. So I didn't know enough about point motors when I started this, so I just didn't install any. and as such I have to reach over and change them, or change them when I set it up to suit what I want to do. I was thinking maybe putting some rods in at these local ones where I could just throw a switch and it'll change, and that's kind of easily done. In this location I might have to dump this platform, and I may end up having to do that anyway, because what I want to do is get this third line here running independently. I've got to think that through before I do anything else. Here's my little LED lights all ready to set up, to install them into my tenement building. I've already cut holes to feed it through. So, you know, there's a lot to be done, but at least I can run trains, and they run relatively smoothly. And I really have to start thinking about what's my priorities here, and start getting more productive. As an example, within a week I'll be finishing off my telegraph poles and a couple of other little tips and tricks that I'm working on. I've got a bag full of local crew that are sort of part way through in painting. I've got these paper straws that I got in the US. I'll think of something to do with them. Yeah, I'm not short of things to do, and my life would be so much more complicated if I had packages coming in every day. I mean, I've run out of space. Right. It's a bit of a chore to go through all this now. A couple of Airfix kits over there never get built. Alright Fred, we'll see you later. Good of you to drop by. Haven't spoken with you for a while. Hope all's well with you. Easy answer, forget Instagram. Well, that's okay, but as I said to you, I like to do some sketching, and I post something every other day, because I've got lots of reference material for cars, and I like cars, so I'll post a sketch about a car, and then maybe another time I'll post something from the railway. Anyway, guys, I've been on an hour, and I think that was pretty good. And really appreciate everybody dropping by. And Bernie, I hope your health continues to improve, and you continue to get more followers. I'm very interested to hear your progress on that, and what you're going to do about it. Are you going to monetize? And if so, what are you going to do about monetizing? I'm not really comfortable asking people for money, but I guess that's how it works. Yeah, I'd need to think about that, and I'd be interested in what everybody else has to say about that. If you were in a position to monetize, would you do so? And what would you offer in terms of that monetization? It would be nice if you could get some kind of sponsorship, so you're not putting the onus on members to support your efforts. And I mean, I appreciate it. I know how much it takes to not only build the railway, maintain it, but then to get into filming, editing, lighting, etc., etc. It's a lot of work. So, yeah. Anyway, maybe go outside and have a beer in the sunshine, and work on this camera thing and see if I can resolve that. So thanks everybody who might be watching on YouTube. Thanks all of you for dropping by, and we'll catch you next time here at Partickhill Station. Bye for now.